Well, hello. I'm going to spend just a few minutes today to describe, to introduce, to get you familiar with the Express Shelf Corp program. It is a fast and easy way to qualify for business funding. Let's start with discussing who should purchase a shelf corporation. Maybe you've heard of shelf corporations, but maybe it's just not quite clear to you what they are and what the benefits are. Well, we need to understand, regardless of Shelf Corp, set that aside for a moment. If you want business funding, you must have a fundable business. Makes sense, right? We can't just go to a bank or a lender and say, give me money. They're going to determine, is your business quote unquote fundable? Is it qualified? Well, there's actually two different ways to get a fundable business or to create a fundable business. We can either buy one or we can build one. So when we say buy, that means that we're acquiring a business that is already established and that's ready to apply for funding. When you drove to the grocery store the last time, you might have driven by a number of businesses that were for sale, a gas station, maybe a shoe store, maybe a donut shop, a cosmetology salon. There are businesses that already exist that are fundable that you could buy, or you could build one from scratch. Well, even just the way I described that, it kind of makes sense. If we could buy one, it would be faster, simpler, easier, and I'll show you how it's also cheaper. Our Express Shelf Corp program was developed with the input of former business bankers, SBDC, SBA advisors, and SCORE mentors. A fundable shelf corp is the fastest and easiest way to qualify for funding in just a few days, normally about a week. Now, if you don't want to buy a fundable shelf corp, we also have the ability through a different grant to help you build one. But we're looking at about 7 days to transfer the documentation if you buy a shelf corp. We're looking at about 4 times that long if we build, about 28 days. Now, let's focus our attention specifically for the rest of our conversation today on the buy, on the acquiring a business that's ready for funding. In other words, the Express Shelf Corp program. So as it states here, it's certainly legal, it's fully compliant, it's free, and I'll describe why it's free, but I think you'll like that. It's fast and there's no risk. It's guaranteed. So, as a 501c3, we applied for and received a grant. Well, that's why it's free. So, through the grant, we can legally and rapidly assist you in buying a fundable business to be able to access funding. How much? Whatever it is that you need. Sometimes it's referred to as a concept called blank check financing. You're able to tell us what would be on that blank check, and then we can build the documentation to support it. But we certainly guarantee a minimum of 100,000. We can certainly pursue more if you need. Let's go back to this free comment. So it used to be that the shelf corps cost, the way that they're built out to be fundable, $10,000. The grant covers 100% of that. So that's why we say free. But the asterisk is just being very clear. There is a processing fee. Like if someone gave you a piece of real estate, you would still have to go to the title company and transfer it into your name. So other than just getting the Shelf Corp transferred to your name, a nominal processing fee, the grant covers 100% of it. So let's continue on down the page. The Express Shelf Corp program provides an affordable and effective solution for entrepreneurs who are looking for a turnkey business ready to apply for business loans within days of enrollment. And when I say days, normally we need about 7 days to transfer that over to you because it's not in your name right now. We need time to get the paperwork with the Secretary of State, EIN, everything, business plan, everything in your name. So about 7 days. With that being said, rather than building a fundable business, which was our other option here, And an Express Shelf Corp already has the key fundability factors. And I'm going to go through what all is included because you might hear of Shelf Corps, but they're all not the same. Our approach is to provide you a fundable Shelf Corp, not just a shell of one. But I'll get to that in a moment. As I've mentioned a couple times, once you enroll, we'll need about 1 week to fulfill your order so we can get all the paperwork in your name. And then we can start using that Shelf Corp immediately after. Like if you went and bought a couch, when could you start sitting on it and watching sports or movies? Once you've bought it, once it's been delivered, we need about a week to deliver your Shelf Corp. Your new business will already have real AR, which means accounts receivable, posted on your balance sheet. And that's important. That's an element of fundability is do we have collateral? So we provide that, and that's certainly a significant difference. What's even better is that AR is, of course, real. We can even turn around and help you liquidate that and put cash in your hands. So let's go over to the right-hand side of the flyer and make sure we're all crystal clear what's included. So what's, of course, you see free throughout. Why is it all free? Because the grant paid for it. But as far as what are the deliverables, we're going to provide an entity, right? We can't go get a big business loan or business financing with a sole proprietorship or even a partnership. We need to have a true business entity like a corporation. And so that is included, no additional cost, as well as the EIN. The entity will be filed and in good standing with the Secretary of State, so it's clean. It doesn't come with any problems. It'll be set up under industry code 8742, which stands for Business Management Consulting. Some people mistake, they say, oh, well, if it's that industry code, what if I want to do something else? Well, there's no restrictions. You can be a business management consultant plus whatever else you want. You're not restricted, but we choose this industry code because it's one of the most fundable categories. And of course, we include the corporate bylaws and the documentation showing that you are the 100% owner. Now, if we're going to try to get a business loan, which is the goal here, we need to have other documentation beyond just the entity and EIN in your name. So the business plan is already created. You don't have to spend any time or effort. And that's a big difference with the build. With the build, you're going to need to work with us over that 28-day period to build out everything because it's a custom build. Here, business plan's already completed. You're listed as the owner. It's good to go. We also include a unique commercial address. A lot of people overlook the importance of that. So not only do we need an entity that's in good standing, the address matters. And so we provide at no cost a unique address for your entity. Can't be using residential or post office boxes or even virtual offices. We also provide business financials. Business financials are things like income statements, sometimes called profit and loss, and balance sheets. This is where a lot of entrepreneurs come up short, but we provide those projections and we actually build them out 36 months, 3 years. That's typically what lenders want for larger loans. And then also, as I mentioned, we provide collateral. So the collateral is included for free. And then if you should ever need additional collateral, we can frankly provide as much as you need. So we have a limited time grant that allows us to provide you a free Express Shelf Corporation, as we've stated a couple times. And this is again, why? Because our 501c3 nonprofit has received a national grant to cover the cost. The only thing that you're going to be paying just one time is the processing fee, so we're able to get that Shelf Corp over into your name legally. With that being said, if you'd like to participate or need more information, go to our nonprofit website, 509pacific.org, 509pacific.org. Thank you so much, and we look forward to working with you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.